Let the word be proclaimed.
Message we sent to receive and repent for his coming.
Well, good morning. This is Brother Wayne Clayball coming to you from the front seat of my pickup truck. This is my little office here now. The Lord has given me this mobile office so that I can be up to date with the world. Isn't that great? I just love it. And here I am talking to you today. This is part 2 with regards to the importance of the number 3. We've had 3 very important prophetical events take place within 3 days just recently, just in fact this past weekend, culminating yesterday when the Pope decided to get on, well, I guess it was the day before that on Sunday, where he decided to tell his cardinals and some of the others that worked with him that he didn't think that child rape was so bad. And he's had such a backlash of that I really honestly, and I stated that in the last broadcast, that I really honestly think that the Pope will resign by May of 2012. And of course, that's going to open up the door for the new Pope. And you'll have to go back and listen to the first broadcast in order to understand what I'm talking about there. But I want to mention also here that Ian Bremmer calls this workup, as far as the European Union is concerned, this New World Order and what's taking place there in Italy and in Greece and in all of those different places around Europe and even in the Asian countries. And now with the problems with Israel, I don't know if you've heard this, but the other day they had an open mic, and I guess they overheard Nicolas Sarkozy from France happen to mention that Ben Netanyahu from Israel is nothing more than a liar and a troublemaker. And of course, Barack Obama says, well, you don't have to work with him every day. I do. And that's a kind of hatred. That's a kind of visceral that's coming against the country of Israel. And believe me or not, they don't want to be known as an economy. They want to be left alone as a country that loves God and is trying to do their best to serve God and to try to take care of their people. They're not concerned with some of these other things that are going on, except for the fact that Iran is now at this very moment attaching nuclear warheads to some of their missiles, and they have plans. They've even made statements to the fact that they have plans of wiping out Israel and completely making her not to even show up on the face of the map. In fact, several of the Asian countries over there have distributed maps that didn't even have Israel on the map. I think that tells you pretty much where they're coming from. But I wanted to mention here Revelation, the 6th chapter, which speaks of the Antichrist. We've had several prophecy pundits who've gotten out there and who've said that they believe that the black horse is riding. They believe the red horse is riding. They believe that the pale horse is riding. Let's get back to the Bible here. And Revelation 6 doesn't take place until after the rapture. And that's what begins the release of the seals, the opening of the seals. And the first seal is where the horses are released. The very first horse, I think we're seeing the precursor of right now, as far as this reworking, this reconditioning, as Ian Bremmer calls it, Europe's necessary creative destruction. They want to destroy everything so that they can rebuild it according to the New World Order, with all of these economies answering to one economy, not having sovereignty within their own nation. So I believe that that's what Barack Obama was sent to do. That was his agenda here in the United States, was to collapse this country so that it would then have to rely on its own government, who would then be able to answer for this government. And I think that he's shown that to be the case, since he's gone around the world and apologized for us, basically, and said that we're not a nation under God, said that we're not a Christian nation anymore, which opened the door for all of these countries to decide to push Islam just a little bit stronger. If they're not a Christian nation, then it's open season on all the Christians that are there and all of those who don't have a God anymore. And believe it or not, this deal with the Pope is causing a lot of people such consternation that they're leaving the church in droves. No one wants to be a part of a church where they have their holy father or their leader that turns around and says that child rape is okay. There's something wrong there, my friend. And like I said before, I don't want to say anything against the father of the Catholic Church, or the Holy Father as they call him, the Pope, supposedly God's man, but his elevator's just not going all the way to the top floor, at least not spiritually speaking. But I want to mention here in Revelation 6:1 where it says, "And I saw the Lamb opened one of the seals, and I heard as it were the noise of thunder, one of the four beasts saying, 'Come and see.' And I saw, and behold, a white horse." Now listen to this. "And he that sat on him had a bow," listen, "a bow and no quiver of arrows, just a bow. And a crown was given unto him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer." Now, this brings him forth as a man of peace. It brings him forth as a man who, I don't know if you remember or if you know that a bow and arrow back in the old days, in the medieval days, was probably the weapon of choice because it was stealth in that nobody actually would know where it was coming from. It could reach great distances, and it was designed to kill. Well, the arrow part of it is taken out, but the bow is there. So it's a far-reaching weapon, which is what the Antichrist and what is going on right now around the world, or we might say a far-reaching new world order that's touching every part of the globe and bringing them under subservience to one boss, if you will, to one economic power. And it's a shame, but that's basically, the Lord said that the root of all evil is money, and that's what we've come to, because everyone is concerned more about money than they are about their soul and about their spirit. And I just want to say, along the lines of the spirit of the Antichrist, I don't know if Barack Obama is the Antichrist. In fact, I don't believe that he is. I think he's the spirit of the Antichrist, and he's brought forth the beginnings of this white horse that we're talking about here. In fact, I have another man that I have in mind for the Antichrist, and I'll talk about that some other day. But I honestly believe it's Nikolai Sarkozy, and he really answers all of the possible reasons and choices why I might choose him as the Antichrist and why we should choose him as the Antichrist, biblically speaking. But I don't believe that Barack Obama is the Antichrist, but I believe he is the spirit of the Antichrist. And folks, we need to really pray during these next elections that we are not fooled, and that Christians everywhere, all across this country, will get out and vote this man out of office, and that God will show us the correct man to put in that place of honor, and that God will once again bless America. We're going to be talking about that some more tomorrow. But until then, this is Brother Wayne Clayball coming to you from St. Joseph, Missouri, right here in the front seat of my pickup truck, giving God the glory. God bless you today. See you tomorrow.
Rejoice at the sound of his voice. Let the word be